Welcome to Landry Anka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears. Start living a beautiful, awesome life. Are you? Yeah? No? Sometimes? Maybe? I don't know. How are you feeling today? All right, so I want to address a comment that one of the viewers, I'm doing a whole series of responding to viewer comments because I'm just loving what you guys are sharing. It's so awesome. Because this is how we help each other, right? When you share stuff, some of your deepest, darkest stuff, you become ultimately like, free, right? You start to free yourself when you just say, okay, let's really look at this stuff, the scary stuff. Sorry about the blower, suburbia. All right, so this viewer said that I was talking about how others can really affect us, both positively and negatively, through their beliefs and what they actually say to us. I mean, it could be a teacher that told you something, 50 years ago, and you're still hanging on to it, believing that you're less than, or maybe that you're really cool. And I fortunately have had some awesome encouragement from people my entire life. But so this person was told at a very young age that she was a quitter. That's not a good thing to be. So I have a couple questions for you. This person said that still is with her. Now, first of all, she wrote me an email and said, how do I get past this? She looked at my internet training and was hesitant because, why? Because you're a quitter, right? You've already told yourself this based on what somebody said. Now, so here's a couple ways to look at this. First of all, why did that person say you're a quitter? Do you have a personality and you do quit stuff? Maybe there's some truth to that, and it's an opportunity to say, I don't like that title, I don't want to be a quitter, and then change it. Now, there's personalities out there that go, no, I'm not, and then from that moment forward, they never quit. And then they go on this path, or I'm not stupid, and they prove that they're not stupid, or whatever it is, right? And then there's personalities that say, oh, I am a quitter. And then you hear yourself saying, oh, I'm not going to try this because I'm afraid of it. You're making it real. You're making that comment real, so you're living it out. So was there truth to that? And you're continuing to live that quitter title. You've decided that you're going to be the quitter, so you keep quitting. That's your choice. You cannot blame that person for saying something. You're hanging on to those words. That person said, I'm a quitter and my whole life I'm going to destroy. No, you're doing it. You did it. You did it. Maybe they said that to inspire you because you do quit and they wanted you to get with the program. Maybe they saw a real promise in you and they're said that to inspire you because they're thinking that way, and it had the reverse effect on you. So why are you hanging on to that? Because you're making it a reality. You're making it a reality. You are a quitter. Right now, you're making it true. You ready to give that title up? See, no matter what people tell you, or maybe you're doing something and people make comments, and it brings it to your attention that, oh, you're negative, or you're always gossiping, or you're this, or you're this, or you're this. And if you don't like that image or whatever has been created that you're probably doing, you change it. It's that simple. Why is it so difficult for everybody to do this? If you don't like something, change it. Decide, I'm never going to quit. In fact, I'm going to get into this and I'm going to start telling myself that I should quit this because this, and I got to catch myself and say, no, wait a minute. I'm not going to be a quitter. I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to make it happen. There's going to be something good that comes from it. And you shift over to become that person that you truly want to be, and you use that to inspire you. But so many of you use these comments to destroy you, and they did this, and he said that, and their life, blah, blah, blah. Aren't you sick of it? Aren't you sick of hearing yourself talk that way? It's exhausting. No wonder so much of exhaustion is going around with everybody. I get exhausted even talking about it. It's like, oh, for God's sake. Decide. Are you a quitter? Was there truth to that? When do you decide you're not? Knock it off. You know what? It's just this, oh, but I doubt myself. Or if you know it, then stop it. Catch yourself and say, there it is again. There it is. Disassociate from it. There's a trigger. Something that I've done for so long that I now automatically do it. I automatically retreat. I automatically self-sabotage or procrastinate. I used to do that. It was so much more fun to have a goal. But when you actually had to do it, it was like, oh, maybe this won't work out, and then I'm not excited about the goal anymore. It was more fun to have this great big goal in the future. And now I'm a big implementer. In fact, I can't stand it if I'm not being productive. It drives me crazy. So I'm diligent. If something I want, I will stick to it and I'll keep at it. And yes, I have doubts. I have all that stuff. Fears, all these things. They're always going to be there. There's triggers according to your experience, the blueprint, the collective consciousness, all of it. Who cares? You want to sit and analyze it? Good. If you want to waste your time, that's fine. Or you can say, I don't need to know what it is. I just know it's there and I don't like it and I'm done with it. So I'm going to recognize it when it shows up and say, whoa, woo. And then maybe take a look at what triggered it. What triggered that fearful thought? Okay, if I'm having a fearful thought, then now I'm focused on fear and I'm actually going to start to spiral down into everything that I don't want. Because I'm reacting to that fear instead of recognizing and saying, I don't want to get caught up into that. I don't want to start to get sucked back into that. I'm going to take a different path this time. It is not true. I do not have to be afraid. Fear is a construct that I can pick and choose to believe or not. And it's the biggest thing we have to break through. If there was no fear on this planet, there would be no problems, no wars, no poverty, no nothing, because no one would protect anything. People would just be loving and giving because there's nothing to ever be fearful of. We wouldn't have alarm systems. We wouldn't have anything. People wouldn't steal stuff because they're not fearful of lack anymore. They'd have things. We'd all have access to everything. Fear is the biggest challenge we have to deal with. So, somebody tell you were a quitter when you were 5, 10, whatever. Okay, maybe you were continued to carry on with it. Now you have information and you know. You recognize that. You know that you've been carrying that. It's time to give it up. Or maybe you really enjoy hanging on to it and you want to blame that person for being a quitter. It was there. Because they made that comment, you've quit throughout your whole life. Is that the case? Take responsibility. You know why? Because when you do, you are acknowledging that you are all powerful and that you do control your destiny and you do control all of the awesome things that can manifest in your life anytime you want. And that is empowerment. Taking responsibility is saying, there is nobody outside of me making this happen. I'm choosing to either believe it or act on it or not act on things that you should to change your life, to make it the way you want to. Because there's no should unless it's something that you want. So you get to decide who you are, and you can change it today. Are you somebody who suffers financially? Do you blame other people? Do you think people are supposed to give you handouts all the time? You better switch that thinking if you want that money, if you want that wealth. Because how you're thinking now isn't working. It's not getting you what you want. Or maybe you like to stay there and blame the world again. And that means you're helpless and disempowered. And you're staying in that belief system. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to continue down that disempowered road. And everybody else is going to be the problem for your lack. It's amazing how many wealthy people out there, they don't have that problem. What's the difference? They just believe differently than you do. They don't see the limitations. They see the challenges as something to break through and inspire them. Are you going to be inspired when somebody tells you something? Or are you going to use it as an excuse? Because it's really easy to blame other people. And you're going to die having blamed everybody, and you're going to lay in that bed and go, what was I afraid of? I can't even remember anymore. Take charge. I'm telling you right now, you are powerful beyond your imagination. As a human being, we can't even comprehend what we are. It's that huge. It's that, let's just say, something that we can't possibly understand as human beings. And it's you. It's not just flowing through you, it is you. You're just an individual expression of that power, and you can use it any way you want, and it's time to start using it in the most positive, awesome way. Take responsibility. I can change my life today. What do I need to do? I have to become a different person, literally a different person. You ready? What do you want to change? It's time, do it. And deal with those feelings as you go along, and the less you give it attention and the less you react to it, the less it will show up, because it's no longer serving a purpose. It's the ego trying to protect you, trying to do its job like you've taught it for God knows how long. So my friend, are you a quitter? You get to decide. Nobody else decides that for you. And no comment somebody made to you is at the root of your problem. The root of your problem, if you even have one, in my viewpoint it's just a challenge. The root of it is that you empower others over yourself. You're looking outside of yourself for answers and justification and gratification and everything else. You need somebody to tell you that you're okay? That's not going to work either. You have to believe it and know it and take charge. That's my answer. It may not be the one you want. You don't have to believe that either. I'm not here to be right. I'm not here to be a guru. I'm here to share what I believe and I know as this entity that you see. And you can create your own beliefs and world. It's up to you. That's the beauty of free will. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, beyond your imagination, loving. You may not feel it, but you are a loving human being. That is what you're created from, is love and light. You are awesome. And you're happy. Anytime you want to be. You get to choose. Namaste.